Good morning, good afternoon. I'm going to ask everybody to take their seats. We're going to be starting momentarily. My name is Amelia Auberg. I'm the Interim Chief of Communications for BPS. So excited to be here with y'all today. So if you can just, everyone take the seats for the program. There are most seats over here. If we want to just take some over here, please. Thank you. Yep.
Welcome, everybody. I think I have a few more minutes to say good morning, and so I'll say good morning, everyone, and good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. My name is Ann Clark. I'm very proudly the head of school at Boston Arts Academy, and we are thrilled to welcome you here today for this historic event to honor a giant in Boston arts education, in vision, and as we say at Boston Arts Academy, one of our shared values, community with responsibility and vision with integrity. We teach our students that we need to be mindful of the legacy that comes before us and on whose shoulders we stand. And we have honored Dr. Alma Lewis for years at Boston Arts Academy since our founding, and I'm thrilled that we are honoring her in this way today. So it's yes, round of applause for that. My great pleasure and privilege to honor you, to thank you for sharing this moment with us. I want to, in particular, recognize two organizations that have really supported this moment to come to be. First, the Boston Women's Heritage Trail, who first made the argument and made the observation that there are too few schools in the city that are named after prominent women, and so we're proud that we are in part correcting that today. And I would also like to recognize the Boston Arts Academy Foundation and its leader, Danella Clark, for her partnership and bringing this moment to fruition. And yes, round of applause. So, it is now my great honor to introduce another woman who needs no introduction, another visionary, another champion for arts education. Our friend, our leader, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so honored to be here with you all. Thank you so much to our head of school, Dr. Clark, and to Ms. Danella Clark, and all of the trailblazers and luminaries. We are so deeply humbled to share this moment with today. I'm grateful for the leadership of our incredible superintendent, Superintendent Skipper, who you'll hear from shortly, as well as the chair of the Boston School Committee, Ms. Jerry Robinson, and looking forward to hearing from our students who are the most important part of our speaking program today. I was actually just here over the weekend. It was a Sunday morning, and yet the main space was filled with young people. They were a little bit tired at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, but they were here excited to be part of Boston's first ever Amplify GSA Summit. It was a Gender and Sexualities Alliance in the Boston Public Schools, BAA. Young people were hosting us, and it was just an incredible day of workshops and conversations, getting to know each other, building networks in this beautiful space that means so much, is really infused with that sense of community and, as you say, belonging and reflecting and building on the legacies that we inherit. BAA really is an example of what's possible when we create spaces that empower young people to be their truest selves. That ethos has guided Boston Arts Academy since its founding 25 years ago, and it's an ethos that perhaps no one embodied more than the incredible Dr. Alma Lewis. Dr. Lewis was adamant about ensuring that young Black artists had the same opportunities to not only hone their skills and expand their repertoire, but to share those gifts with the world and to be celebrated for them. She knew that the arts were a vehicle for joy and healing, and worked to make it a powerful tool in the hands of those seeking to build a more just society. A few weeks ago, we had the honor of joining family and friends of the late legendary Mel King at the renaming of what was previously the McKinley School to now Mel King Academy in the South End. And we reflected then on how important that was, because the names we choose to elevate as a city and the stories that we tell matter. They're a reflection of our values and priorities as a city. And while we know that countless women of color have given so much of themselves to shape our communities, we're still just starting to begin to make progress in addressing and elevating the stories that for too long have not been up on the walls and permanently emblazoned in our collective consciousness and in the stories that our city is known for. And so today's celebration to rename the building after Dr. Elma Lewis is an important step not only for this building and the young people who will have the opportunities to share their gifts with the world through their education here, but for the entire city and beyond. We weren't able to, usually there's a curtain and you pull a string, it was too, anyway, so you see it's already up there. We were very thrilled to make sure that it's already up there. This building is not only a beautiful home to the creative minds and compassionate hearts of our city's young artists, it's a standard setter in terms of energy efficiency and climate technology and the sound that is protected in spaces. Our young people deserve high quality academic and artistic spaces and the opportunities that they offer for generations to come. And I can't think of a more fitting way to honor Dr. Elma Lewis's legacy. We are working on more, especially in Franklin Park and beyond, but really, really grateful to have this chance to be here today. It is a legacy that our next speaker has dedicated her whole life to upholding as well. With more than 40 years of experience in early childhood and education, a true pioneer of the early learning family spaces, we are so lucky to have her leading our Boston School Committee. I want to welcome up Madam Chair Jerry Robinson.
Good to see you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mayor Wu. Good afternoon, everyone. I had the marvelous privilege of being a student of Dr. Lewis. I remember her lessons well in her studio. She encouraged and demanded us to be the best we could and pushed us to excellence. She encouraged to be curious, disciplined, and to go after our dreams. It's a surreal moment to stand in front of this school knowing the letters on this building speak about a past that is familiar to me and a future that is so bright for our students. I'm deeply grateful to be part of this opportunity today. And now it's my honor to invite our Superintendent of Boston Public Schools, Mary Skipper, to come forward.
So good afternoon, and thank you to Mayor Wu, who's such a champion for our youth and for the arts, to Head of School Ann Clark, just her steady leadership throughout the whole process of the building coming to fruition, to Nella Clark and the BAA Foundation for their continued support, and for all of the parents and the alumni and the students and the family that are here today to celebrate what is truly a great day. I also want to acknowledge and thank Chair Robinson, because she really is just such a pillar of education. And when she tells her stories of all she's experienced and everyone that she's met and that's impacted her, every time I learn something new about BPS. The life, works, and legacy of Dr. Lewis has inspired artists in this city for generations. Her name will forever be in the minds of this BAA community. Its students and its staff will ensure that her example remains a guiding star long into the future after they leave this building. That's what our students will carry with them, and so will we. Dr. Lewis was a tireless champion of young people and the arts in education. She advocated for many types of music and arts programming so that young people and those from underserved communities could experience the joy and freedom that comes from creativity. She paved the way for a high-quality, culturally affirming arts education, establishing her own school and the National Center for Afro-American Artists. She also paved the way for equitable arts instruction. In fact, she made it possible for schools like BAA to exist. This building carries more than just a name. It's a legacy, her legacy, of grace, of grit, and of joy. It is my pleasure to introduce what I consider the speaker of the day, one of our own students, Shaumba Sabira Dibinga Robinson. And just to say, sounds like Shaumba is an amazing student, full of creativity, takes her academics so seriously, high honor student, and in fashion design is her major. And I have no doubt that we will be seeing some of her work and probably wearing it in the years to come. So, Shaumba.
Good afternoon, Dr. Clark, Mayor Wu, members of the Boston Arts Academy Board of Directors, Boston Public School administrators, BAA faculty, family council, staff, students, and press. My name is Shaumba Subira Gulela Dibinga Robinson, and I am a junior fashion tech major here at Boston Arts Academy, and it is my pleasure to represent our student body during this historic ceremony. Dr. Elma Lewis was an artist, visionary, and activist who had a profound impact on arts education on the local and national levels. She had an appreciation for the transformative and healing power of the arts and a commitment to using the art form to tell inspiring and riveting stories, chronicling the lives of African and African Americans throughout the U.S. and abroad. She was the founder of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, a groundbreaking institution that aimed to preserve, promote, and celebrate African American arts, and the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts, which offered intense and professional level training in dance, music, theater, and visual arts. Her work inspired generations of African American female artists who went on to establish performing arts centers, including Origination Culture Arts Center, where I work as an instructor and a member of the senior dance company Nia Dance Troupe, Stages Cultural Arts Center, 4-Star Dance Academy, Roxbury Center for the Performing Arts, and Uptown Dance Center, all of which have students who are currently enrolled or who have graduated from Boston Arts Academy. Ms. Lewis's legacy is unmatched, and it is more than fitting that Boston Arts Academy, an institution that is committed to providing its students with the high-quality arts programming and performance opportunities, be named in her honor. On behalf of the entire Boston Arts Academy student body, I extend our deep appreciation to everyone who played a role in designing, constructing, and raising funds to build this state-of-the-art facility, and to those who saw fit to ensure that it was named in honor of a woman who possessed the grace, grit, and determination to break barriers and uplift our culture. Thank you.
So it's now my honor to introduce a gentleman who is well known to the Boston Arts Academy community, who has come to speak to our graduating seniors for many years about Dr. Lewis's legacy, Mr. Barry Gaither.
What a wonderful day this is, and how perfectly the weather, the place, and you have come together to celebrate the naming and unveiling of this building in honor of Dr. Elma Lewis. We gather to dedicate the Elma Lewis Building, home of the Boston Arts Academy, in memory of one of the most extraordinary daughters of 20th century Boston, a daughter of the city and more especially of Roxbury. We gather to also celebrate that with the role of the Arts Academy Foundation and the school department and the city, this naming is now realized and here for everyone who comes down this street to see and acknowledge. Born of Barbadian immigrant parents of high ideals and demanding standards, though not of wealth and privilege, Dr. Elma Lewis lifted her family and community through her commitment to merit, hard work, character, and achievement. After completing degrees at Emerson College and Boston University, she made her life matter by the example of her vision, service, and impact on her community. She founded the Elma Lewis School of Fine Arts, the Elma Lewis Playhouse in the Park, the National Center for Afro-American Artists, and in time she was named a John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Fellow and awarded a Medal of the Arts, Presidential Medal of the Arts, as well as the distinction of being a Kennedy Center National Visionary in the Arts. Not to mention more than some 30-plus other honorary doctorates and acknowledgments. She counted among her friends presidents, not just ours, but from across the world, and she counted also among her friends such notable artists as Harry Belafonte and Duke Ellington, and she treated them all with the same respect that she awarded to the littlest children that she came to know and teach. She saw in the youth that she encountered boundless genius, awaiting the knowledge, confidence, and opportunity to blossom. In the school that she founded, she wanted to assure that students were not taught to fail, that they would grow in boldness and brilliance as they came to know their heritage as a platform from which they could transform the world. She also saw that more was needed and envisioned an art school of artistic and academic excellence that would serve a still broader spectrum of our communities. Her vision for and critique of the arts and art education never waned. The fire of her youth, especially what burned for the youth of color, still fires in all of us who believe in a future of greatness. It is that fire that has moved the Boston Arts Foundation and the Boston School Department to name this impressive edifice that will serve generations of young people the Elma I. Lewis Building. Our students from across the city of Boston will find in the Elma Lewis Building a haven where they're always welcomed and from which they can launch themselves to change the world. Each time they enter this school, passing the name of Elma I. Lewis, they will be reminded of the model of her service, her brilliance, her grace, her determination, and they will resolve again never to settle for less than the full realization of their human potential. On behalf of the National Center of Afro-American Artists, the institutional descendant of Miss Lewis's work, and also of her family here today, especially if I may ask her to join me for a moment, Dr. Kathy Meadows, her grandniece, we join the celebration in naming this building in honor of Dr. Elma Ina Lewis, whose contribution to love and example for the students of Boston will remain forever her living legacy. Thank you.
So at this time, I'd like to invite Danella Clark, President of the Boston Arts Academy Foundation, with me to present the photo and the plaque, and members of the family, and all join in the photo op. Thank you.